Honourable Deputy Speaker, Honourable Acting Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Members, I want to thank Honourable Deputy Speaker, you for giving me this opportunity to speak on a topic which I've been mentioning lightly during the past ministerial statements, and that is about extracurricular activities in schools and about holistic development of our children. Honourable Deputy Speaker, the mission of the Ministry of Education, Heritage and Arts is to provide a holistic and empowering education system that will enable children to realize and fully appreciate the inheritance and potential, all of which will contribute to a peaceful and sustainable national development. Honourable Deputy Speaker, we are looking at developing our children for nation building for future Fiji. Honourable Deputy Speaker, this holistic approach to education does not allot academia an isolated or elevated importance, but it is strongly and appropriately paralleled with curriculum perspectives and a range of extracurricular activities. And this, Honourable Deputy Speaker, is well aligned with the philosophy of education in Fiji and the national curriculum framework, which places the child at the centre of learning and contributes to the development of the child spiritually, intellectually, culturally, socially, emotionally, aesthetically and physically. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I rise to inform and update the honourable members of this House on the extracurricular activities being implemented in schools and our strategies put in place by the Ministry of Education, Heritage and Arts to ensure that these activities are thoroughly supported and made available to the students, thus promoting and enhancing holistic development of the child that we have. Extracurricular activities in schools are those activities that fall outside the realm of the normal academic curriculum of the school and in which students participate outside the normal school timetable, but which are organized by the school for the benefit of the students. Honourable Deputy Speaker, as I said, this is organized outside, outside the normal curriculum, but organized in a manner that should not affect the academic performance of the child, as well as give some degree of choice to the child. The child can say that I, for some reason or the other, do not wish to participate. Honourable Deputy Speaker, implementation of the extracurricular activity in schools has received mixed responses from students, teachers, parents and stakeholders alike. These activities are sometimes seen by some people as an unnecessary expense and irrelevant to a child's development, taking up valuable time that could have been better utilized in studying to achieve better grades. Honourable Deputy Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth. For research has found that there is strong association between student involvement in extracurricular activities and improved attendance in school, behavior and academic performance. From strengthening the mind to promoting better time management skills and prioritizing, to raising a child's self-esteem and confidence, to always striving for excellence, extracurricular activities can propel students to excel in much more than just the academic endeavors. It gives them confidence, it gives them opportunity to learn outside the materials provided through textbook and through the curriculum. It instills a level of discipline, Honourable Deputy Speaker, and contributes overall to also building future leaders. Honourable Deputy Speaker, high endurance sporting activities trains a child to maintain a patient attitude and enhance resilience in face of intense difficulty. Essential skills in management and leadership can be learned in a leadership-oriented club, while public speaking skills can be refined in oratory debate or speech clubs. Further, the Honourable Deputy Speaker, tertiary students are now not only looking at academic grades, but at the extras the students involve themselves in, which also reveal a lot about the student themselves. Honourable Deputy Speaker, also the labour market now are going through in detail the curriculum vitae of students to see what differentiates the child from the rest of the flock or rest of the applicants, Honourable Deputy Speaker. So nowadays, parents also are now taking interest in seeing how their child could fit in to the different kinds of extracurricular activities that are offered through the school. From the outset, Honourable Deputy Speaker, I wish to accentuate the significant role parents play in supporting their children in this activity. And yesterday, Honourable Deputy Speaker, I had provided at length the work that we're doing to involve parents' involvement in the child's growth and development and education through our school system. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I now wish to highlight the various types of extracurricular activities offered by our ministry through the schools, the mechanisms that are in place to support the implementation of these activities, and how these activities have enhanced the academic performance of the child participating students. Honorable Deputy Speaker, let me take a moment to discuss these activities. The activities may be discussed, divided into two types, competitive and non-competitive activities, and range from academic to art, music, individual team sports, to disciplinary activities such as cadet training, religious activities, and celebration of special days or international days. Honorable Deputy Speaker, recently the Ministry launched the National Green Olympiad, an online competition targeting years 5 and 8. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Science and Technology competitions launched in March, and the Oceans Anti-Pollution competition encouraged students to engage in oratories, quizzes, and poster competitions that enhance the understanding of contemporary environmental issues and helps us build global citizens out of our children that comes out of our primary and high school system. Honorable Deputy Speaker, you won't believe the children that comes out with this curriculum, the revised curriculum, and these activities that we are offering out of our school system. Our children are ahead of children that comes out of some of the schools in the neighboring developed countries, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The National Asia competitions organized by the select organizations for special days such as Constitution Day, Mother Tongue Day, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, Discourse Against Suicide, International Day Against Child Labor, etc., allow students to explore these relevant issues and learn of international conventions and responsibilities of both the country and themselves. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I believe the level of reading these children do, the level of unearthing of literature that they undertake in order to participate in competitions relating to these areas that we are encouraging through our school system. And also, Honorable Deputy Speaker, you won't believe how we are mobilizing the people behind these children, their parents, friends, relatives, who would assist the child so that the child can do well. Added to this, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we have National Physics Team in individual competitions, commerce competition, money smart competitions, language, Itokai, Urdu and Hindi, oratory and essay writing competitions, and poster competitions. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Minister of Education, Heritage and Arts encourages observance of such days in schools so that students are duly informed of these very important issues. Honorable Deputy Speaker, one of our child from the recently launched Energy Olympiad competition, who won the top, got 100% mark in the online energy competition, will be presenting at the conference this weekend, the Sustainable Development Conference. That's the level of preparedness we have done through these competitions, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, music and visual arts taps into the child's innate capabilities. The annual Kula Film Awards competition challenges students to explore and develop talents in dance, art and drama. And I encourage some of the members here, if they have time, to go and watch the final performance of the Kula Film Awards, and you'll see some of the finest products that these little children out of our school system have been producing. These activities, Honorable Deputy Speaker, present the opportunity for creativity, enhancement of skills in visual learning and perseverance in perfecting dance moves and artwork. Honorable Deputy Speaker, you won't believe the kinds of creative talents our children have, and it requires a little bit of tap, little bit of support from us as well as the private sector to see how we could get this talent out and give them an indication that they too can have a brighter future in some of these creative areas that they have. Honorable Deputy Speaker, athletics is an area that speaks for itself. The 2017 Track Athletics Games, the biggest yet since its inception, was held in April and involved almost 87% of all secondary schools around our nation, with 2,495 athletes participating in the Games. dubbed the largest secondary school athletic meet in the southern hemisphere, attracting talent scouts from Fiji and overseas. The athletics game has been a platform for many young athletes who qualify for regional and international championships, and a mentionable number have gone on to enroll in prestigious overseas universities that are further developing their sporting talents. These national athletes events for secondary and primary as well provide students an opportunity to be exposed to a wider competition and a platform to showcase their talent. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I don't think there's any other country who are organizing the athletics meeting that we have at that level. And if you come, most of you would have attended this athletics meet at the National Stadium. The entire atmosphere is very different, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and you can see how children are so enthusiastically demonstrating their talents. Honorable Deputy Speaker, they don't like to hear good things about our children. That's rather unfortunate. Honorable Deputy Speaker, they're jealous, they don't have respect for our children. They don't respect for our children. Honorable Deputy Speaker, for children who may struggle academically but excel in sports, success in these national level competitions heightens the child's self-esteem, keeps them engaged and away from unwarranted societal evils. It is anticipated that upon acquiring the scent of success in sports, students carry it right through from extra into the curriculum. There are qualities and values that sports helps to build and enhance. These values, together with dedication, determination, planning, time management, and the obsession to excel, guide the child to keep on the track of success away after burning the tracks in a national sports competition. Honorable Deputy Speaker, other sports like swimming, team sports such as rugby, soccer, netball, hockey, not only continue to hound the relevant talents in students, but teach them about life skills and the opportunity to advocate against non-communicable diseases. Teamwork, a very marketable quality, is nurtured and enhanced in these types of group or team sport activities that we organize through our school system. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Fiji is blessed in terms of having a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. It gives an opportunity to develop a well-rounded, well-educated, with wisdom, future Fijians, Honorable Deputy Speaker. So therefore, we are using our school system to ensure that our children do have solid understanding about various religious activities. As such, we organize through our schools, observe in schools religious days, various religious days which are marked in the calendar. We provide, our ministry provides write-ups sanctioned by the relevant faith-based group, and we give it to the schools to read it out to children so that every child understands about the different religious values and marked special days. Honorable Deputy Speaker, without doubt, language is a critical component of culture. Extracurricular activities are encouraged across all vernacular languages to enhance and strengthen cultural identity, and especially on International Mother Tongue Day and International Day for Cultural Diversity. Schools are encouraged to celebrate their uniqueness, unique identities in the hope that it will instill pride and need to value their culture and rich heritage. Special days like Fiji Day, Gilmid Day invoke a sense of belonging to students and strengthen confidence in their identity and acceptance in our country. We want our children to understand what is special about them being a Fijian, and we want them to understand and have thorough knowledge about our own heritage. Honorable Deputy Speaker, military cadet training continues to be actively opted for by heads of schools for instilling discipline in students. In 2016, 12 schools have implemented cadet training. The cadet training instills discipline in children, which is then followed by a host of values and virtues, because the Ministry's vision is to engage in lifelong learning so that we produce worthwhile citizens. In addition, Scouts, Girl Guides, Brownies are offered especially at primary school level. In 2016, 9,048 primary school boys from all around Fiji had registered under the Fiji Sports Council and carried out scouting activities in their respective schools. Similarly, in 2016, 4,854 primary school girls from all around Fiji has registered and carried out Girl Guides activities in their respective schools. Involvement of students in these activities help them to develop skills such as self-reliance and teamwork, encourage active outdoor activities, and have lifelong benefits, including building resilience against common stress, thus achieving more in life. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our Ministry firmly believes in the positive impact that participating in extracurricular activities has on students, and so provides several platforms on which students may engage in these activities. At a time where our education systems are exploring the possibilities of decreasing or cutting funds for extracurricular activities through the free education, our Ministry is making grant allocation for sports and extracurricular activities through the free education grant. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our Ministry's policy on tuition fee grant for primary and secondary school stipulates that 10% of the grant is allocated towards ensuring that we meet the needs of their extracurricular activities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our Ministry recognizes the importance of striking a balance between student involvement in extracurricular activities and academic studies and ensuring safety of students participating in these activities. This is clearly stipulated on the policy of school exclusion that explicitly illustrates our Ministry's stand on extracurricular activities. That experience of students outside the school premises contribute to the development of their understanding, skills, and attitudes. That the provision of opportunities for students to learn from the wider community to build on and reinforces the school curriculum. Keeping students in check against excessive involvement has been attained with the support of parental engagement. Honorable Deputy Speaker, apart from having a positive impact on academic performance, extracurricular activities provide real-life experiences that students would not otherwise obtain from the formal curriculum. Students reap as rewards from these activities positive behavior and values such as team spirit and leadership, which will lead to better grades and ultimately successful school completion and provision of a product which is confident and understands about the society as well. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the officers of the Ministry of Education are continually engaged in publications which create interest not confined to the prescribed curricula, but also on the activities surrounding the subject. The Hindi primary section of the curriculum advisory section publishes a newsletter called Nojati. The English primary section publishing a newsletter called English Bites. And we also, in the Fijian, and we also, the Wasawakaviti primary section is making regular contributions to the Naila Lakai to ensure that we do keep up with in these, the vernacular areas writings. These publications are strong initiatives to go beyond the classroom to reach the children. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the school broadcasting unit is continuously broadcasting on all aspects such as behavior and moral values through its English broadcast of moral stories. All extracurricular activities which are organized are further explained and shared using the school's broadcasting unit. The Ministry of Education is mindful of the many schools' geographical location, thus carrying out our best to reach all students through the radio. In this endeavour, Honourable Deputy Speaker, the Ministry is not only advocating for, but also actively immerses itself into the pre, during and post stages of an organised activity. In conclusion, Honourable Deputy Speaker, the Ministry will continue to deliver on to our commitment as per our mission and vision, ensuring that every child has a chance to reach his or her potential by enjoying the vast opportunities provided by an all-encompassing education system. We firmly believe that every opportunity must be made available to every child to discover and develop his or her strengths and talents and have the means and know-how to address challenges and so become a well-rounded citizen. In doing so, Honourable Deputy Speaker, we dare not use lip service in this national priority. We have already entered into this paradigm shift. Let there be no iota of doubt that extracurricular activities are an integral part for our child's or any child's development because they provide an important component of the bedrock of holistic development. I do not see any other better way forward to arm our young children, our nation, our future in terms of holistic development. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I will now call on the Leader of Opposition or designate.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, I would like to respond to the Ministerial statement by the Honourable Minister for Education on extracurricular activities in schools and the concept of holistic education. Extracurricular activities, Honourable Deputy Speaker, are important and an integral part of holistic education in order to groom and induct productive citizenry. It helps in inculcating the moral and social values in students and enabling them to live a healthy and exemplary life with a view of living the personal and social life to the full. However, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the success of extracurricular activities is highly questionable for a variety of reasons, rendering the concept of holistic education a farce. Honorable Deputy Speaker, PMEC teachers are underpaid, and I will request the Honorable Minister to look into this to ensure that they are paid for the extra time and effort they put into the organization and conduct of the extra-curricular activities in the schools, which I believe can be well taken care of by the coming 2017 and 2018 budget. Furthermore, Madam Honorable Deputy Speaker, there must be a clear pathway for PMEC teachers in as far as the career path is concerned. Honorable Deputy Speaker, a lot of extracurricular activities are being conducted in schools on ad hoc basis, which needs wider discussion amongst stakeholders. Schools do this as a formality to compete in a particular code or fulfill a cultural or social obligation of the school's founding and social obligation or responsibility. And if that is the case, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we can never achieve the ideals and principles of holistic education. Students must be motivated to participate fully in these activities. And Honorable Deputy Speaker, schools should be encouraged to come up with their own extracurricular activities that are found in the respective communities. For example, Honorable Deputy Speaker, wood carving, canoe building, weaving, sewing are activities that some place in Fiji and its schools, which can be adopted and strengthened and included in the curriculum. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in sports, I believe the issue of insurance for students while participating in extracurricular activities is important, as students, parents, and guardians need protection in case something happens. I strongly feel, Honorable Deputy Speaker, there is a need to consider the logistics of insuring our students when they participate in extracurricular activities. Also, Honorable Deputy Speaker, parents and old scholars, they bear the full cost of training, food, gym work, and they pay for professional coaches when they have sporting activities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, there are concerns raised about quality teaching time used for extracurricular activities. Most students, teachers, parents, and management, Honorable Deputy Speaker, strongly object to that. The mechanics of how to incorporate these activities need to be planned. And I urge that the stakeholders be consulted and their views be taken on board. Last year, Honorable Deputy Speaker, there was a consultation by the Minister of Education with selected schools. And what was amazing was the tone used by ministry officials, which was basically threatening the school management and intimidating heads of schools present to accept 12 policies on which the consultation was taking place on as-is, where-is basis. So much so that the representative of the area, Pertindi Saba of Fiji, which manages a number of schools in Fiji, walked out of the consultation saying that it was a farce and it was a showcase as well. And in summing up my response, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I call upon the Honorable Minister to engage with stakeholders, something which he talked at length about, which is the key to re-establish the lost spirit of dialogue and consultation among schools, which can be translated to holistic education, so that we can come up with a policy and program, Honorable Deputy Speaker, which is owned by all, and not only a few, as has been the case in the last 3 years. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I will now call upon the leader of NFP or his designate.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I thank the Minister for his statement. And once again, it is always entertaining that the Honorable Minister finds it fit to give little updates and dangle PR carrots like this, when we on this side of the house know full well that the Education Ministry and the quality education of our children is continuously challenged. Extracurricular activities, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for our children are critical for their holistic development and for our educators. Finding the right balance against academic pursuits can be very challenging at times. We know full well that the academic pursuits for excellence for our students right now are burdensome for both teachers and their learning charges. Many teachers are now condensing condensing their curriculum within the first 2 terms in order to leave the 3rd term for revision and remedial works. The fact of the matter is the curriculum of our children and the students of it need major analysis and scrutiny, because the results of the curriculum and ad hoc amendments to it without proper holistic curriculum development process will spill over into universities, vocational centers, and ultimately the ability of our young people to obtain gainful employment. Our NFP leader, Honorable Deputy Speaker, has been relentless in his calling for an education commission to assess and analyze the education system in Fiji within a year or less. The last Education Commission report was produced in 1999. We stand by that call. It is now an urgent priority. Unfortunately for this minister, his 2016 initiative to introduce yoga as an extracurricular activity, which he backtracked on later to make it optional, is a shining example of questionable approaches by the Minister of Education. The minister is better placed reverting to fundamentals of quality education. The present curriculum extends school hours for exempt class students and also take up Saturdays to cater for the condensed curriculum for the 2 terms. And with that, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the contemporary Hindi and Fijian that is compulsory under the Constitution to be taught at primary level has become an optional thing because of the lack of teachers. And I'll give an example. Some primary schools in Nadi, they do not make it compulsory on these 2. And this is where the ministry should be putting more effort. Finally, Honorable Deputy Speaker, extracurricular activities, we agree, are not a realm of the curriculum. These are activities which are designed to suit the children of the community based around the schools. We have rural maritime students, we have urban students who are all geared up into one basket. And now this is becoming a very challenging situation in Fiji as far as our education system is concerned. I urge the minister to look at it specifically in areas of concern so that we can have a holistic development as a nation. And in their pursuit of no one being left behind, this is where the minister should be putting his words. And not specifically addressing what suits Fiji first. These ministerial statements are nothing but campaign strategies, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and I urge the minister to put his mouth and stop campaigning on these grounds and don't use children as an example of tomorrow where the elders have been through. Thank you.
Thank you.